Alright guys, welcome back. Continuing on with the wings. So in this video, hopefully we get the top wing on and all the struts. Then the plan is to pull it all apart and build the wings of the wing section on each wing. Hope you enjoy the vid. Alright, just with a rattle can. I've learned my lesson with these. Just paint one side one day and come in and do the other side the next day. These are all the little tabs. The reason I do this now is because once you run the cable through, like for instance here, you can't paint it. This is inside the wing, so it won't matter. But I don't want to try and paint this that you'll see with a cable through it. So I'll spend the extra time now and just paint all those tabs. It will go matte. It is matte black. I've only just sprayed those and it actually stinks quite a bit. So that's those ones. I played around this morning and I finally got the bolts in the rear and it's clamped at the top, purely because I want to put the wing on now and plumb bob it. It's my last chance to make sure it's square to the fuselage. Recheck my levels, which is looking good, and we'll go from there. Stand by. Alright, top wing is on. Well, just sitting up there. Got it all nicely levelled. Once again, my adjusters just work a treat. Just screw that down by hand. So adjust that while watching the bubble. Bubble's level it this way, and then I think mathematically or whatever, it has to be level at the back. So I checked it and it's level. Put my plumb bobs down. Just a bit of string here, if you can see it. And I'll snap a sinker, surf sinker. Now I'll measure back, leading edge to the string, lock it in Eddie, and we should be good. A lot of mucking around with those rear bolts. Did the best I could. One's lower than the other. Just the angles, the pipes, well, the little stubby bits leaning out, it's leaning forward. The tube wants to go, so the angle was wrong in this plane and also in that plane. You know, you could grind it off, re-weld it and all that sort of stuff, but spend the big bucks on the fuselage, it should be right. So I haven't finished up here yet because I just want to check the wing for square, then we'll rivet that, finish that, and that'll do for today hopefully. Alright guys, got a bit going on. To spend my time then, finish the cabane struts in the middle. Got a few issues with turnbuckle sizing and that sort of thing. The plans show up here on these, specifically says drill a 3/16 hole. Had my time again, I would have just made that 3/16 for the turnbuckle. Now I need a bigger turnbuckle to fit in there nicely. I haven't got that little piece in the middle, which is going to take some time to make and hold me up a bit. Well, has to be made, should be supplied in the kit I would have thought. But yeah, got all the bolts in, tangs are in the right spots. Now I'm just played around, I had to sort of forget the dihedral, get the dihedral close, then I'll show you over here. Cut my 4 struts. I made up a jig, once again, just a bit of 16th balsa wood, which is 2 pieces with the angles. Slid that up where the struts go. Now they should, all 4 of those should be the same length in my books. So knowing the top wing is flat and 0, just came down and made a master. This one on tape. Now this one fits in all 4 locations. So I just cranked the wing up until it basically grabbed hold. Rechecked the dihedral. I got 5 at 4.9 to 5.1 degrees, which is very accurate. So we'll mount up the struts. Alright guys, back at it again. You ever played with model aeroplanes, and you know, even those little wind-up rubber band aeroplanes, I used to get excited. I still get excited about those flying around. It's the whole thought of flight. Now I'm building my own Sopwith Camel. Going along quite nicely. Just putting the struts on. So, as the crows yell at me, plenty of jig blocks. Do whatever you have to do to the jig block. Gives me a nice horizontal hole. As you can see over there, just clecoing each one. I cut the 4 of those to length. They're identical in length. I had about an inch difference, which sort of, the alarm bell rang. But then I realised, yeah, you can move that trailing edge about an inch, believe it or not, and my inclinometer doesn't change much. So you just redo it, and then I figured out the top wing is level. Let's just come down from the top wing, and that gives me my dihedral. I'm at 5 degrees dihedral, which is perfect. 0 washout, everything's 0, 0, 0. And we'll get these struts on and keep moving ahead. Going well, starting to look like an aeroplane. Well, looks like monkey bars really, but we'll get there. Label everything. This will be right, rear, inside, and bottom. Keep it all labelled. So bottom strut, see what I do here. I've got this pilot hole, 10mm at the bottom, in the centre at the top. Got my hole through the compression strut. All I do is cleco this through. Hold the strut where I want it. Find that black line. Boom. We're on centre. There. One last check and drill it. And cleco. Then I'll position my extra holes. These now become orientation Pacific. I just mark these somehow so they go back in the same spot. We'll rivet those on and our wing is coming together nicely. Alright, hour and a half in. Got the struts on just with the 16th clecos. 2 struts on that side, 2 struts on the other side. Just going to have a bit of a tiz up. Then I will make more swarf, pull those off again. Upsize them, 3/16 holes, a couple of bolts, lock it in Eddie, and that should be good. Should have the struts done. Keep going. Alright, so I've sort of done whatever I had to do to get things to fit. Now I'll pull it apart, clean it up, and make this is probably the worst one, but just get the material out of the way. There's a fair bit going on down in these corners with about a 3 or 4 way. So you got the strut coming down, the sky drag brace, and then there'll be a turnbuckle or cable here for the landing wire, and same at the top. So it gets fairly busy in this corner. I just used, I've got a cleco in this one. Or just whack a 16th drill bit instead of a cleco, move the cable out of the way. What I did learn is you've only got 2 inches to work with because there's a compression strut inside, there's a plug inside the compression strut, which is 2 inches long. You don't want to be too far out because you want this to be solid, but if you're too close, things start to interfere and these teardrops won't be on centre. So I've got a few struts that look a bit how you're going, but gets the job done. Build on. Now these are all also very specific now, like the right way up. You don't want to flip it over, and it's got to go back in the same spot. So I just do one at a time, finish that to completion, and I'll mark it with green tape, because what I'm going to do next is rub all the texture marks off. I actually hate the texture marks, I've got to get them all off, but I love using it, if that makes sense. So draw all over it, get some thinners, rub it all off. And I've marked them all with tape, just somewhere where it doesn't go under the ink and it's out of the way, so you can still buff the edge, but that designates the outside, and I'm just going to do one at a time. Otherwise you're just going to mix them up, and there's probably, what is there, 4? There's probably 16 different ways they can all go on. Alright, got the front strut in. Some of the bolts are thread bound, some are not in safe. Sort all that out, very frustrating at times. I need to space out. This teardrop needs to angle down more, but it hits the rivet. I can either put a little dog leg in the teardrop, or I think I'll put a washer between the black bit and the airframe, just to space it out. Then it'll swing over the, you know, I can force it, but I'll just space it out just to get the angle right. I've gone closer at the top because the bottom of the wing sort of here somewhere. So just the tang will poke out, and there's no guidance on this. Here down here, I'm figuring the leading edge comes up higher. So I've got 1 rivet, and I've got 2 rivets up here. We'll see how that turns out. Once again, lack of guidance. Nice flat wing. So that's about it, guys, for today. Well, this week. Bit patchy, school holidays, so I'm a stay-at-home dad, so pretty busy. Not sure when I'll get back out here again, but we'll make another video and keep progressing, but she's looking good. Thanks for watching.